Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off this presentation on comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance management. Today, we'll explore how to ensure your cloud operations are secure, compliant, and cost-effective using Azure. Over the next few slides, we'll cover key strategies, tools, and best practices to help you achieve these goals efficiently. Let's get started. Welcome to our discussion on Azure governance, risk, and compliance, or GRC for short. Today, we'll explore how a comprehensive GRC approach helps organizations manage their Azure environments effectively. Effective Azure GRC is about more than just security. It's about supporting secure workloads, ensuring we stay compliant with ever-changing standards, and optimizing costs along the way. This balanced approach enables organizations to confidently adopt cloud technologies without sacrificing control or security. Now, what are the key benefits of implementing strong Azure GRC? First, it helps make sure that our cloud operations are aligned with our business goals. It also ensures that we meet regulatory requirements and stay within our risk tolerance levels. Think of GRC as the backbone of managing cloud environments securely and efficiently. It provides the structure we need to operate with confidence, knowing that we're covered from a governance, risk, and compliance perspective. In essence, Azure GRC is crucial because it connects the dots between security, compliance, and business objectives, helping us navigate the complexities of cloud management smoothly. Let's talk about why Azure governance and GRC really matter in today's cloud landscape. When we talk about comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance management, we're referring to a structured approach that ensures your cloud environment is secure, compliant with regulations, and optimized for costs. Azure GRC acts as the backbone for a secure, compliant, and cost-effective cloud adoption process, helping organizations navigate the complexities of cloud management smoothly. Now, at the core of this is understanding the risks of poor governance. When governance is lacking, it can lead to security vulnerabilities, compliance failures, and even unexpected cost overruns. These issues can not only jeopardize your organization's security, but also impact your bottom line and reputation. It's also important to recognize that many organizations face a governance maturity gap. In fact, only about 40% of enterprises have mature governance strategies in place. This gap highlights the need for stronger governance practices to fully realize the benefits of cloud adoption. And speaking of adoption, Azure's strategic importance cannot be overstated. Around 85% of enterprises rely on Azure for their critical workloads. That shows how vital Azure has become in supporting business operations and why robust governance and GRC are essential to manage this reliance effectively. In summary, understanding and implementing strong Azure governance and GRC practices is crucial for secure, compliant, and efficient cloud operations, especially as more organizations depend on Azure for their key business functions. Let's take a closer look at comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance management. These elements work together to form a solid framework that not only secures our cloud environments, but also enables us to be agile in our business operations. First, the unified framework is the backbone. It's designed to ensure we follow all necessary legal, regulatory, and internal standards consistently. Think of it as a set of guardrails that keep us compliant at every step. Next, compliance is about continuously monitoring and identifying potential threats within our cloud setup. By doing so, we can proactively mitigate risks and protect our valuable assets from harm. Finally, risk management involves establishing clear policies and rules that guide how we use the cloud. These policies should always be aligned with our overall business goals, helping us balance security with agility. When all these elements come together, they give us a robust approach to managing our cloud environment, making sure we're secure, compliant, and able to adapt quickly to changing needs. Now, let's take a closer look at Microsoft's Security Policy Framework, or MSB. Essentially, this framework provides a comprehensive approach to managing security across Azure, Microsoft 365, and Dynamics 365. One of the key aspects is that these policies are not static. They constantly adapt to emerging threats and changing regulations. This ongoing evolution is crucial because the security landscape is always shifting, and MSB ensures our defenses stay current. Moving on, the Azure Control Framework offers detailed controls and procedures. Think of it as a set of specific guidelines that help us implement and maintain security effectively. Having clear control documentation makes it easier to understand what needs to be done and how to do it. Finally, MSB delivers a unified security framework across all these platforms, which is a significant advantage. Instead of dealing with separate policies for each service, we have a consistent approach that organizes security policies across Azure, Microsoft 365, and Dynamics 365. This unified method simplifies management, enhances coherence, and strengthens our overall security posture. All of these elements together help us maintain a robust, adaptable, and integrated security strategy. Now, let's take a closer look at the core Azure governance components that help us manage our environment effectively. First, we have Azure Management Groups, which organize subscriptions in a hierarchical way. This structure allows us to implement scalable governance across multiple teams or departments. Next is Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, which is all about enforcing the principle of least privilege. By assigning granular permissions, we ensure that users only have access to what they truly need, enhancing security. Moving on, Azure Blueprints enable us to deploy compliant environments consistently using reusable templates. This helps streamline the setup process while maintaining compliance standards. Lastly, Azure Policy plays a crucial role in defining and applying rules to enforce compliance across our resources. Together, these components form a comprehensive framework that supports governance, risk management, and compliance, key themes in managing a secure and well-organized Azure environment. Let's talk about Azure Policy, which I like to think of as the compliance enforcer for your cloud environment. This tool helps you manage your Azure governance, risk, and compliance efforts in a comprehensive way. Essentially, it makes sure everyone follows the same organizational and regulatory standards consistently across your resources. One of the key things it does is ensure consistent standards. For example, it can block resources that don't meet your criteria, like unapproved virtual machine sizes or regions. This way, you prevent the deployment of resources that could cause issues down the line. Another important aspect is automation. Azure Policy automates compliance checks, which helps reduce human error. Instead of manually verifying each resource, the system automatically ensures everything aligns with your policies, saving time and increasing accuracy. Finally, Azure Policy allows you to define specific rules and enforce them across your subscriptions and resource groups. This means you can set clear standards and trust that they will be upheld, creating a more secure and compliant environment overall. So, in essence, it's about creating a robust governance framework that enforces rules, automates checks, and keeps everything consistent. Let's talk about Azure Blueprints and how they help us deploy compliant environments quickly. With Azure Blueprints, we can accelerate the deployment of secure and compliant cloud environments, which is essential for keeping up with business demands and regulatory requirements. One of the key benefits here is accelerated deployment, meaning we can get new environments up and running faster without sacrificing security or compliance. Another important point is standardizing compliance across all new environments. Azure Blueprints automatically incorporate the necessary policies and controls, ensuring that every environment meets both organizational standards and regulatory standards without extra manual effort. Finally, Azure Blueprints are powerful because they combine policies, roles, and resources into reusable templates. This makes it easier to replicate secure, compliant setups across multiple projects or teams, saving time and reducing errors. So overall, Azure Blueprints are a vital tool for streamlining governance and ensuring that our cloud environments are both fast to deploy and consistently compliant, fitting perfectly into our broader strategy of efficient and secure cloud management. Let's talk about role-based access control, or RBAC, and how it embodies the principle of least privilege. Essentially, RBAC ensures that users and services only have the permissions they absolutely need to do their jobs. This approach helps minimize the risk of overpermissioning, which can lead to security vulnerabilities. RBAC works hand-in-hand with Azure policy, providing a layered security approach. It also integrates seamlessly with Azure blueprints, allowing us to enforce comprehensive governance across our environment. This integration makes sure our policies are consistently applied and managed effectively. When we look at the common roles in RBAC, you'll notice roles like owner, contributor, and reader. Each of these roles has specific access scopes, defining exactly what a user or service can do within a particular area. This clarity helps us manage permissions precisely. By assigning these specific permissions to users, groups, and services, RBAC plays a crucial role in risk minimization. It prevents overpermissioning, which is a common insider threat, and ensures that we have tight control over who can do what. Overall, RBAC is a vital part of our governance strategy, helping us maintain a secure and compliant Azure environment. Now, let's explore how Azure management groups help us organize at scale. When managing numerous subscriptions, it's crucial to have a comprehensive approach to governance, risk, and compliance. This is where GRC management comes into play, providing the tools we need to keep everything aligned and secure. Scalable governance models are essential for large enterprises, allowing us to set policies that grow with our organization without becoming unmanageable. These models simplify auditing and compliance reporting, making it easier to demonstrate adherence and quickly identify issues. Another vital aspect is cross-team governance. With multiple regions involved, Azure management groups enable us to facilitate seamless collaboration and consistent policy enforcement across different teams and locations. Finally, the hierarchical organization of subscriptions through management groups allows us to apply policies uniformly while maintaining flexibility. This structured approach ensures that governance is both scalable and manageable, supporting our overall goal of secure, compliant, and efficient cloud operations. Now, let's look at how we can manage risk in Azure through continuous assessment. On this slide, we see that comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance, or GRC management, is essential. This approach helps us strengthen our security posture and, importantly, reduces our overall risk exposure. One of the key concepts here is a strengthened security posture. By integrating automated remediation with Azure policy, we can proactively address issues before they become serious problems. This means that when a vulnerability or misconfiguration is detected, the system can automatically fix it, keeping our environment secure without waiting for manual intervention. Next, we have actionable security recommendations. These are crucial because they help us prioritize what to fix first. Instead of being overwhelmed by alerts, we get clear, prioritized guidance on where to focus our efforts, making our remediation process more efficient. Finally, Azure Defender for Cloud provides continuous risk assessment through AI-powered detection. It uses advanced analytics to identify vulnerabilities and threats in real time. This proactive detection allows us to stay ahead of potential security issues, ensuring we maintain a strong security posture. All these elements together form a comprehensive, proactive approach to managing security risks, keeping our Azure environment safer and more resilient. Now, let's talk about a real-world risk involving misconfigured storage accounts. As part of comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance management, it's crucial to understand how misconfigurations can lead to serious issues. Azure policy plays a vital role here because it can automatically block public access and enforce encryption on storage accounts. This proactive approach helps prevent costly security incidents before they happen. Often, we see common misconfigurations like public access being enabled unintentionally or a lack of enforcement for encryption. These small oversights can have big consequences. In fact, Misconfigured storage accounts are a leading cause of data breaches, making up about 30% of incidents in 2023. This highlights just how critical proper configuration and governance are in protecting our data assets. By implementing policies and controls, we can significantly reduce these risks and strengthen our overall security posture. Let's take a closer look at some of the risks associated with cloud migration that we need to watch for. One key area is proactive GRC workshops. These sessions are crucial because they help us identify governance gaps and high-risk areas early on. By doing so, we can address potential issues before they escalate into serious problems. It's really about staying ahead of the curve and ensuring our governance framework is solid. Another important point is the lack of oversight, which can create compliance blind spots. When we don't have continuous visibility into our cloud environment, we might miss critical compliance requirements, exposing us to fines or security vulnerabilities. Visibility is everything. It's the foundation of good governance. Finally, unmanaged resources pose a significant risk because they increase our attack surfaces. Shadow IT, or unmanaged IT resources, can lead to security gaps that are hard to track and control. This is why maintaining visibility and control over all resources is vital to protecting our organization. Connecting all these points, the overall theme is that proactive management and continuous oversight are essential to mitigating risks during cloud migration. Staying vigilant and addressing these areas early helps us safeguard our data, maintain compliance, and ensure a smooth cloud journey. Let's talk about how compliance becomes simple with Azure. Azure provides comprehensive governance, risk, and compliance management, or GRC, to help organizations stay on top of their compliance needs effortlessly. One of the key features I want to highlight is the workflow support for audit-ready operations, available 24/7. This means your team can maintain audit readiness at all times without interruption. Features like automated evidence collection and automatic audit trail generation streamline the entire process, reducing manual effort significantly, up to 70%, in fact. This not only saves time, but also minimizes errors and ensures consistency. Azure also offers built-in compliance blueprints that cover over 90 standards, including major ones like ISO 27001, GDPR, HIPAA, and SOC 2. This extensive coverage makes it easier for organizations across various industries to meet their regulatory obligations. Overall, Azure's tools and standards work together to make compliance management more efficient, less burdensome, and more reliable, helping you focus on your core business while staying compliant. Now, let's look at how integrating Microsoft 365 and Azure enhances our compliance efforts. One key aspect is comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance management. This allows us to oversee all our compliance activities in a unified way, making it easier to stay on top of regulations. Next, we have streamlined workflows specifically designed for handling GDPR data subject requests. These workflows help us manage these requests more efficiently, reducing delays and ensuring we meet our obligations. Improving data subject request management is crucial for maintaining trust and compliance. Another important point is consolidated reporting. By having a centralized view, we can generate reports that support both internal reviews and external audits more easily. This streamlining of audit processes saves us time and effort, while also ensuring accuracy and consistency. Finally, shared policies and controls that span across Microsoft 365 and Azure enable us to maintain a unified approach to compliance management. This means we can apply consistent policies across all our cloud services, simplifying governance and strengthening our overall compliance posture. All these elements together help us create a more integrated, efficient, and effective compliance environment, aligning perfectly with our broader goal of seamless cloud governance. Now, let's take a look at how Azure helps us maintain financial discipline through comprehensive GRC management. These features are designed to keep our cloud environment secure, compliant, and cost-effective. One key aspect is auto-optimization, which automatically identifies and remediates unused or underutilized resources. This means we're not wasting money on resources that aren't actively contributing to our goals. Another important feature is resource tagging. By tagging resources according to teams or projects, we can allocate costs accurately and gain better visibility into where our money is going. It really helps us understand and control our spending across different parts of the organization. Finally, budget controls with alerts are essential. They allow us to set spending thresholds and receive notifications if we're nearing or exceeding those limits. This proactive approach helps prevent overspending and keeps our cloud costs aligned with our financial plans. All these tools work together to ensure we stay disciplined and intentional with our cloud investments. Let's talk about how governance plays a crucial role in preventing cost sprawl. When we have comprehensive Azure governance, risk, and compliance, or GRC management in place, it helps prevent unexpected costs from sneaking up on us. It also promotes efficient resource utilization, so we're making the most of what we have without overspending. One of the key tools here is cost optimization through dashboards. These dashboards give us financial transparency and allow us to see insights immediately, so we can act quickly if something looks off. Real-time visibility is another vital aspect. It helps us keep track of resources as they are used, making sure everything is aligned with our standards and goals. Speaking of standards, Blueprint standards help us standardize sizing and configurations across our resources. This consistency makes management easier and reduces waste. And to ensure security and compliance, we block unauthorized resource types through policy enforcement. This way, we prevent any risky or non-compliant resources from being deployed in the first place. All of these governance practices tie back to our overall goal: managing costs effectively while maintaining security and compliance in our Azure environment. Let's talk about some best practices for networking and security within Azure. First, when it comes to secure access, it's crucial to avoid exposing management ports publicly. That's where Azure Bastion comes in. By using it, we can securely connect to our virtual machines without opening those ports to the internet, significantly reducing the attack surface. Next, we want to implement strong security controls. Tools like network security groups, or NSGs, help us define and enforce rules for inbound and outbound traffic, ensuring only legitimate connections are allowed. Azure Firewall adds an extra layer of protection by acting as a centralized security policy enforcement point, filtering traffic across our network. Finally, network segmentation plays a key role in enhancing security. By using virtual networks and subnets, we can isolate different parts of our environment. This containment limits the spread of potential breaches and helps us manage traffic flow more effectively. All these practices, secure access, robust security controls, and network segmentation, are interconnected and essential to building a resilient, secure Azure environment that aligns with our overall governance and risk management goals. Let's talk about implementing conditional access policies with Azure AD to help us manage risk more effectively. By setting up these policies, we can control access based on specific conditions, such as user location, device status, or risk level, ensuring that we're only granting access when the risk is acceptable. This is a vital part of our overall governance strategy because it helps us adapt security measures dynamically and proactively respond to potential threats. Next, it's crucial to conduct regular RBAC reviews. These reviews help us maintain the principle of least privilege, meaning users have only the access they need to do their jobs and nothing more. Regularly reviewing roles and permissions minimizes the chance of excessive access that could be exploited. And finally, strengthening access security through multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is one of the most effective measures we can implement. Enforcing MFA for all users, without exception, adds an extra layer of protection. It's not just about compliance. It's about reducing the risk of unauthorized access and safeguarding our organizational resources. All these practices, conditional access, RBAC reviews, and MFA enforcement are interconnected and essential for a robust, secure, and compliant Azure environment. Let's talk about some key strategies for data protection and backup management in Azure. First, it's crucial to monitor unusual data access patterns continuously. By doing so, we can spot potential security threats early and respond swiftly. Implementing anomaly detection helps us safeguard data integrity by alerting us to any irregular activity that might indicate a breach or misuse. Moving on, utilizing Azure backup services allows us to perform regular backups of our data. This is essential for maintaining business continuity, ensuring that even in the case of data loss or corruption, we can recover quickly and reliably. Finally, protecting our data through classification and encryption is fundamental. We need to ensure that data at rest, meaning stored data, and data in transit, when being transferred, are encrypted. This layered approach to encryption helps keep our information secure from unauthorized access at all stages. Together, these strategies form a comprehensive approach to managing governance, risk, and compliance in our Azure environment, reinforcing our overall security posture and resilience. Let's take a closer look at this success story from Nordcloud. They conducted a GRC workshop for a global financial firm, which is a great example of how structured governance, risk, and compliance initiatives can make a real impact. During this workshop, they identified key gaps in cloud governance, areas where controls and processes could be improved. They also aligned their findings with the CSA-CMM framework, which is a well-established model for maturity mapping. This helped them assess where the organization stood and plan the next steps for improvement. The focus was clearly on governance, making sure that the cloud environment is secure, compliant, and well-managed. And the results speak for themselves. Within just 6 months, they achieved a 40% reduction in risk. That's a significant improvement, demonstrating how a structured GRC approach can deliver tangible results. So, this story highlights the power of a systematic, framework-based approach to cloud governance and how it can lead to measurable risk reduction, ultimately supporting the broader theme of effective cloud management. Now, let's look at the future of Azure GRC, where automation and AI play a central role. This comprehensive approach to governance, risk, and compliance is designed to keep your cloud environment continuously secure and adaptive. We're moving toward a model of continuous adaptive governance, which means our policies and controls evolve alongside your infrastructure, ensuring ongoing compliance without manual intervention. Self-service portals are empowering developers to deploy resources within predefined guardrails. This strikes a balance between agility, allowing rapid innovation, and maintaining control over your environment. It's about giving teams the freedom to move fast, but within safe boundaries. In addition, DevOps pipelines now integrate compliance checks early in the development process, what we call shift-left governance. By catching issues early, we prevent problems from escalating later, saving time and reducing risks. Automated remediation workflows are another key piece. When compliance issues are detected, these workflows can fix problems automatically, reducing the need for manual intervention and speeding up response times. Finally, machine learning models are getting smarter. They can predict potential risks before they even happen, allowing for proactive governance. This predictive capability helps organizations stay ahead of issues and maintain a secure, compliant cloud environment. Altogether, these innovations are transforming Azure GRC into a smarter, more agile, and resilient framework, ready for the future. As we look at the expanding regulatory landscape, it's clear that maintaining compliance and managing risk across different jurisdictions has become more important than ever. In this ever-changing environment, organizations need to ensure they're not just meeting current standards, but are also prepared for future ones. That's why having a flexible and responsive cloud governance framework is essential, one that can adapt quickly to new legal requirements as they arise. Azure plays a critical role here by continuously updating its compliance blueprints. These updates reflect the latest standards and help organizations stay audit-ready, reducing the risk of non-compliance. For example, Recent laws like China's Personal Information Protection Law, or PIPL, and Brazil's General Data Protection Law, the LGPD, are reshaping data privacy practices worldwide. As we see, the global regulatory environment is becoming increasingly complex, with new privacy laws emerging across different regions. It's a dynamic landscape, but with proactive governance and up-to-date compliance tools, organizations can navigate these challenges effectively and confidently. This ongoing effort is vital to maintaining trust and safeguarding data in today's interconnected world. Azure GRC empowers organizations to maintain control while still fostering innovation. It strikes a balance between being agile and ensuring compliance, which is crucial in today's fast-paced cloud environment. This agility helps reduce downtime and prevents compliance failures, supporting business continuity even as things change rapidly. With automated policy updates and continuous risk assessments, teams can respond proactively instead of just reacting to issues. This means you're always ahead of potential problems, making your governance more resilient and adaptable. Azure GRC also provides real-time visibility into your compliance status and security posture. This transparency is key to staying agile because it allows you to quickly identify and address any gaps or risks. Finally, staying agile in governance isn't just about reacting fast. It's about anticipating regulatory changes and adapting your risk management strategies accordingly. This proactive approach helps you stay compliant and secure, no matter how regulations evolve. Getting started with Azure GRC begins with assessing your current maturity level. Understanding where you stand helps you identify the areas that need the most attention and improvement. It's really about tailoring your governance strategies so they fit your specific business goals and the stage of your cloud adoption. To do this effectively, you can leverage frameworks like the Cloud Security Alliance's Capability Maturity Model, or CSA-CMM. These tools allow you to benchmark your current practices against industry standards, giving you a clear picture of your governance maturity. Start by reviewing what policies, risk management practices, and compliance controls you already have in place. This review helps you spot gaps or weaknesses in your current framework. Once you identify these areas, you can prioritize the improvements that will bring the most value and ensure your governance is aligned with your overall cloud strategy. Remember, the goal is to understand your starting point thoroughly so that you can build a solid, scalable governance foundation as you move forward. Now, let's move on to step 2, implementing guardrails. This is all about reducing human error and making sure our governance standards are applied consistently across our environment. By doing so, we not only improve compliance, but also speed up our secure cloud adoption process. One of the key tools here is Azure Blueprints. Think of it as a way to package policies, role assignments, and resource templates together. This allows us to quickly create standardized, compliant environments, saving time and ensuring everyone is following the same rules. Alongside that, we have Azure Policy. This tool helps us enforce compliance by defining specific rules for resources. For example, we can prevent the deployment of certain VM sizes or block public access to storage accounts, ensuring that no non-compliant resources slip through. Together, these tools help us define clear governance rules and automate enforcement, making our cloud journey more secure, consistent, and efficient. Now that we've set up our governance framework, the next crucial step is continuous monitoring. This is where we really ensure that our Azure environment stays secure, compliant, and cost-effective over time. Achieving comprehensive risk management means regularly assessing potential vulnerabilities and making adjustments as needed. It's about staying ahead of issues before they become serious problems. Equally important is ensuring compliance adherence, keeping up with regulatory requirements and internal policies to avoid penalties and maintain trust. And of course, maintaining budgetary control helps us prevent unexpected costs and optimize our financial resources. To close the governance loop, we access real-time data visualizations that give us immediate insights into our environment's health. These dashboards allow us to track key governance metrics, making it easier to identify trends and anomalies. This real-time data enhances our decision-making, providing actionable insights that help us respond quickly and effectively. Setting up automated alerts is another key part of continuous monitoring. These alerts notify us instantly about security incidents or compliance deviations, so we can address issues promptly. Monitoring resource usage helps prevent cost overruns, ensuring we stay within budget while still meeting our operational needs. Integrating Azure cost management tools allows us to keep a close eye on spending and optimize financial governance over time. Ongoing risk assessments are vital. They help us stay informed about new threats and vulnerabilities as they emerge. Utilizing AI-powered threat detection takes this a step further, providing advanced security insights and recommendations that are tailored to our environment. Finally, leveraging Azure Defender for Cloud gives us a comprehensive security solution that continuously monitors for threats, offers security recommendations, and helps us act swiftly to protect our assets. All these elements together form a dynamic, proactive approach to governance, making sure we're not just reacting to issues, but preventing them and maintaining a resilient, compliant, and cost-effective Azure environment.